Hey, what's going on, world? Welcome to the official 90's Babies podcast. I am one half of the show, your co-host, Quay Morgan Hill, along with my lovely co-host, Kevie the Dreamer. So check us out at 80's, 90's, and 2000s Vibes Network on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, check us out. We are there, guys. So I am super excited as always. You know, I'm always over the top and extra, but I'm happy. This is like an interview from my bucket list right here. This is like the 90's crush. Every guy had a crush on her back. Okay. But no, seriously, our generation grew to love her from Nickelodeon, from AllThat. And the new generation is growing to love her from Disney. The Proud Family. Alisa Reyes is here, guys. How are you?
Oh, thank you for having me. That was like the best introduction. Can I just have you everywhere I go?
Absolutely. I will go. Put me in your suitcase.
Let's do it. You guys are adorable. I'm so excited to be a part of your frequency.
Yes,
Thank you so
yes.
much.
So the first question that we want to ask is who has a better theme song? Proud Family or AllThat?
Wow, I have never been put on the spot that way. Well, first off, I was asked a similar question, but a different type of way on a red carpet event recently, and I said, they're apple to oranges. They're both amazing networks, and I feel like, both kid-friendly content. And I feel like it's a part of my like nostalgic childhood being a part of these frequencies and now having been back on both shows. So I want to say I love Beyonce. I love TLC and God rest Left Eye Soul. So like I have to say I plead the fifth. How's that? Because you really took it deep there.
Yes. Me and Kevin were talking about that before we started, and we were like, I do
That's
not
a
know.
hard one.
Yes.
That's a hard
Yes.
one. They're
Yes.
both so different. You know what I mean? So let's just say both.
But
Let's say both.
They both are a bop, for
They
sure.
both are the bomb diggity.
Yes.
yes, they are. And they're still relevant to this day. So,
Yes.
Proud Family is getting sampled like by Tory Lanez and a few other artists. So, and then TLC, the AllThat has been sampled as
Icons.
well. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's still relevant.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. And what's great is even not to interrupt, the Proud Family has a new reimagined song that was done, and it's done beautifully by the artist choice. So I mean, I honestly I feel like she did it justice, and no matter what, there are songs that are like you can always listen to even now, and it still brings you back to that moment, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Kevie, who are you going with? What's your favorite theme song?
I think I have to go with the OG All That after going back and
Okay.
forth because
Yeah.
I'm proud that I know Left Eye's part, and that's probably the only rap that I know.
Okay, well
Yeah,
then I'm gonna have to go with the Proud Family.
okay.
Yes.
And I sure as heck am not beating that tie. I'm not. I'm not doing it. Okay.
So would you choose then Disney or Nickelodeon kid? Which one were you growing up?
Well, clearly I was Nickelodeon growing up because I literally was working on the network while growing up. But Disney Plus is my home right now, and no matter what, I mean, I could be working on a project and still be working with Nickelodeon. That's the beauty about being an actor. Your resume can have all kinds of textures and layers and sparkles and sprinkles. It is not about a competition. It is not about who the best is the best. All these platforms have really opened up an amazing opportunity for us, especially Disney Plus, to talk about modern topics now: activism, LGBTQ community, Latinx community. We have a great Juneteenth episode in this season too that's out on Disney Plus right now. So, I mean, we're educational. We talk a little about everything, and the same thing with Nickelodeon. It was just done in a different way. And at the end of the day, there's room for all of us, and that's the beauty about all these different networks. And it's been really just an honor being able to be a part of all these different frequencies.
And you have been doing your thing since then. It's like you hit the
Yeah.
ground running.
And haven't aged
Yeah.
a bit.
Oh, well, bless your heart. I feel like I get ripe like an avocado as I get older. No, I I mean, listen, I've been doing this for a long time. I like to call myself immortal. But I think the key is just to be grounded and just to have time to take care of yourself, even if it's just a couple minutes to just like say, I need a second. I need to just breathe. I need to do me. I need a journal. I need to write. I need to go on a hike. I need a bubble bath. I need to do a little face mask, whatever. Things like that for me, especially growing up in the business and now being a new mom and being a wife and having a family and being in that next chapter. I definitely feel like, as you get older, you can't sweat the small stuff and because it gives you wrinkles and it's not cute.
Okay, that's a word.
Okay, right. Yes.
Yes.
So we can say that you haven't been to any doctors. This is natural.
Oh no, I'd be scared to go and get anything done because I feel like there's so many beautiful people here. God made you just the way you are. My daughter, she's 18 months and she's already wanting like lipstick, because she sees mommy get ready. And I go, listen,
Oh.
you're going to play with all this one day. And I'm sure I'm going to have to put a lock on my vanity. But I said, you are perfect just the way you are. God did not create you with makeup on. I said, mommy just puts this on a little bit just because it makes mom feel better, but that doesn't mean anything. You are perfect just the way you are, like I was saying. So, it's just a matter of preference. And I feel like at the end of the day, we just need to love ourselves, right? And just enjoy the moment of life. Hence, bringing it back to the Proud Family, it's honestly been like the best reason to put your cell phone away and get some popcorn, because this season is packed with nonstop guest stars and it
Love
is
it.
just so binge worthy without a doubt.
Yes,
Love it.
absolutely. And I'm watching it with my kids. So my goddaughter and
Yay.
my daughter loves the Proud Family. And I'm just so happy that they like it because I grew up watching the Proud Family too. And like my favorite episode, I just remember was the Kwanzaa episode. And there
Yes,
were
that
so
was a
many
good one.
lessons that were being taught in the Proud Family. I don't think people really understood that growing up as a kid, but now as an adult, it's like, wow, those were some real good gems. So what would you say is some of the lessons or gems in the Proud Family that you took away?
Well, I feel like whether it's something I already kind of knew about or just it was magnified and enhanced, especially for the viewer, they're going to learn about things they've never spoke about. They're going to maybe enhance and magnify on topics that they've been trying to talk about as a family. And maybe we will just open that little Pandora's box and help them find the right way to communicate. But I love the cultural aspect of things. There were so many different things, like just little certain je ne sais quoi that I didn't even know, and that I was like, oh man, now I can resonate with that. I mean, our show has always been woke, right? And at the end of the day, I think now with it being 2023 and everything that has happened in the past 2 years of our lives, it's just now really being analyzed like, oh my gosh, there it is. But we've always been there. That's the thing that we've been saying. Does that make sense? It's like we've always been there. We've always been doing this. We've always had the perspective of rose-colored glasses. People just were seeing things, and black, white, gray, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
In our show, I feel like now, because of what's happening, it just magnifies and enhances everything. You know what I mean? And so now it's like a melting pot of just so much love and light. And for me, I would say like the quinceañera episode for LaCienega this past season 1 was a great one. This season, we all, as characters have a moment to have a spotlight. And so, this season, I love the Juneteenth, where we learn about that and Jubilee and all these things. And then, and all of our activism episodes. I mean, just that alone is empowering, especially for the masses, because our show is for like 6 to 68 to 80. So, having someone sit down and be able to relate to everything and even learn something new and culturally, to me as a new mom, I couldn't ask for a more magical show to be on.
Absolutely. And that's the best part about it. It's so diverse. That is the best part.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Yes. So I know you've seen recently that there was a little bit of uproar going on due to the reparations that were being said on Proud Family. How do you feel about that? Do you really think that people are taking this as a racist show and colorism show? Like, how could people think that?
I take the media and the news in dosages, and I've seen little spurts and spats of different frequencies. And honestly, I respect everyone's point of view. I think everyone has a right to their feelings. And I feel like our show Bruce Smith, the creator, and Ralph Farquhar, our EP, all the way down to Calvin Brown, who's a producer and a writer, and the staff has done such a really, really amazing job trying to portray so much love and light, and no matter what category we bestow upon the masses. And I think at the end of the day, there's always going to be people that are going to be opinionated. It's a right of freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of how people reciprocate, right? And how people respond to it. And, for me, I see it and I give it love and light and respect, but, it doesn't define anything. And I think everyone's entitled to an opinion, but I feel like everything was done to the best of its ability.
That's a good way to put it. Okay.
Yeah, I love, like you said, Alisa, I just think the show is so diverse. And I just think about the main cast of Friends. Everybody is unique and diverse. And you just can't get more,
right.
You can't get more open than that.
Right.
So I just appreciate the show.
I mean, we're talking about everything. And of course, it's going to make people maybe get triggered or feel some type of way, right? You can't always guarantee making everyone feel a particular way, happy, sad, good, bad, whatever the case may be. You just hope that, they could take something away from it. And of course, people are going to feel something. That is what TV is about and film is about, and being in the arts is about, is we as actors, we as creators and as content creators, we want you to feel things. And it might not always make you feel the way you expect to feel, if that makes any sense. But I really think it's the way people express themselves. And, I think miscommunication within social media and communication alone is kind of what the issue is, at bay, if that makes any sense. And I think a lot of it's also miscommunicated, if that makes any sense sometimes,
I definitely agree with that. And I think we live in an era where people are just used to clicks. They want those snippets instead of watching the entire episode and taking all of that in. They just want to watch 30 seconds of something and then just basically.
And so they just catch a little something and they don't know the whole logistics of it. Sure, right. I could see that happen. Because the attention span of some people sometimes, nowadays, I remember when I was doing radio, I remember the network was saying to me, the attention span of just the listener is it changes every 14 minutes, hence why you hear advertisers have to repeat themselves. So it's interesting to see, like you just said, the attention span of the average Joe and what it is that they intake, whether it's on a scroll of social media or, just surfing the channel or, streaming or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I get you on that. I agree.
Yeah. So let's talk about that though. So you were on Playboy Radio, right?
I had a radio show on Sirius Radio 198. I had a show that was based off of the college demographic. So it was really fun because this was almost, in the early 2000s before social media was even, really popping and going. So it was a special website created for college kids, right? To where you have to have an EDU email address to sign up. And basically what transpires is then you had your own community, kind of now like the meta world, if that makes any sense. And we were a radio show that had, been linked to that site as well. And so I'd get a chance to go into the studio a couple times a week, and I would do, a show for about an hour with a different co-host. And then I would sometimes go to tailgating things and host and do things like that. And what was great about working for the company is, I have been in the business for over 30 years. So a lot of people are like, wow, Sirius 198, you've done kids content all your life. I go, well, I'm also an adult, but also at the same time, I'm not posing or doing anything like that. I'm just a voice jockey for the radio show. So what was a great platform working for that company is, I got a chance to meet all different kind of content creators, and it was a great platform to do for a little bit. And, all I did was host and use my voice, and that alone should just show you that you can't judge a book by its cover, if that makes any sense.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
With that being said, Alisa, I have wanted to ask you, so you've been on radio, you've done Proud Family, what you said, has had many celebrity guests
Yes.
this season and throughout its career, or throughout its tenure, I should say, and you've done all that. Who would you say is the coolest, not even celebrity, but just person that you've met, because I think about back in that era of all that, particularly, you guys had Aaliyah, you guys had Left Eye, like you said. Is there anybody that stands out to you that you just are like, wow, I got to meet and connect with that person?
In general, from my career,
Mm-hmm.
I feel as far as like, it takes a lot for me to really get starstruck. I had a moment where I was able to meet Janet Jackson. That was kind of like, ooh, that was a big moment. I think I was like backstage at like an NSYNC concert and she was there, or they were opening up for her or something like that.
Okay.
But no, I feel like all the different projects I've worked on TV and film wise, I loved working on a show called American Family. It was an all Latin cast. So I worked with like Edward J. Olmos, who played my father, Sonia Braga, who's Jennifer Lopez's mom in her current movie right now. I think it's called Shotgun Wedding. She played my mom on the show. It was directed by Gregory Nava, who directed Selena. Moments like that, working like Raquel Welch, I worked with, so working with people like that, iconic actors, especially within my Latin business, was really special to me. And then as far as like, on TV, I've grown up in this business, so I have a lot of friends that are working actors, and I just, I'm in awe of them. I feel like everyone that I meet, I always kind of have a little like ooh moment, and back then I wish we would have had cell phones and been able to do selfies, because I have a book of Polaroids from my All That days.
Wow.
Now I have to just like scroll into my like Google Docs or whatever, my Google Photos, to see my photos, which is, you don't print photos like you used to, is what I'm trying to say,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're making me go down memory lane. I would say TLC is probably one of my favorite, and like you mentioned, Aaliyah definitely is up there. She was so sweet and so beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah,
what a blessing.
Right.
Yeah.
So just how was that experience just to be on All That?
I mean, really something truly one of a kind moments. I feel like, it all happened really fast. I started acting when I was like 7 or 8 years old. I knew what I wanted to do at 3, but I started much later, and much later people were like, oh my God, you were 7 or 8. I was like, yeah, I know, but I wanted to start right when I came out of the womb, and God rest my mother's soul. She was like my backbone. She stopped everything so I could pursue my career. And I remember getting the call. I was like 12 years old to audition for All That. 7 auditions later, after literally going into the Viacom studio where they used to shoot TRL, I was kind of in that stomping ground, right in Times Square. I mean, every time going there, it was like butterflies. And I felt like I was getting closer to my moment. And I knew by the 5th or 6th time, I was like, okay, I know they like me. Why are they just taking forever just to book me? What is going on? And then finally, I found out Kenan Thompson and I were the last of the Mohegans to get booked. And I was the only one representing New York City.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, that was, because, we all came from different states, Chicago, Atlanta, California. I was the only one from New York. And, I'll never forget, getting the call, and I literally was starting like 9th grade in high school. So I missed legit most of my high school years, but I wouldn't have had it any other way. I moved to Florida, Orlando, with my mom. It was just my mom and I, and we had the best time ever. And Universal Studios was my backyard. And growing up with, my co-stars was a very special, really special moment. And even though I don't see them all the time, I still talk to some of them, and we can always pick up a conversation from where we left off. And I'm so proud of all of them. And people are parents and, married and working on TV, film, and so many different things. And we're all thriving. And that's all that we can ask in life, is just to be happy,
right?
Just to thrive, just to do what we love, and to stay connected to those that we love, So it's been an amazing journey, and I feel very blessed to still be here and having moments like this with people like you. It's what makes it all worthwhile for me.
What a blessing. You're so beautiful.
And it feels like we grew up with you.
Yes.
Well, we kind of did.
Yeah, like cousins or something like
I was at your dinner table every night.
Right, exactly. You and
I
Lori
cannot
Beth.
look I cannot look at you without thinking of you and Lori Beth Denberg on the island. I
Oh my
always go
gosh.
back to that. I just love it, you know?
That was
Did you
my
see the
favorite
one we
scene.
did on the reboot?
No, I
Oh.
didn't.
Oh my God. They wrote us back
I
in to
love it.
season 11, and it was like
Okay.
25 years later. I was laughing because originally in the script, they had it written as 15 years later. And then live on set, while we're filming in front of an audience, the writer comes to me and
Mhm.
said, "Can you say 25 years later?" And I was like, "Why we gotta say 25 years?" Because it is 25 years later. And I was like, my thing is, am I still gonna fit in Kiki's outfit? And I did.
I
Ah,
know that's right. Okay.
25 years later.
I was laughing because like the only difference is like, okay, so I got some eyelashes. They gave me a little extra bronzer. And then like at the time my hair is really long now because I'm a mom. So like those prenatals kicked in for sure. But at the time my hair was a little like shoulder length. So I got some extensions for Kiki's ponytails.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
oh my
But
gosh.
it was really, really fun. And they made our sketch center stage, like no pressure, but it was so like it was really out of body and you really euphoric when Lori Beth and I like we never skipped a beat and it was really emotional to do it again. And I remember like having this be a sketch that they picked to pass down the torch to the boys, which I thought was a great twist. The Island Boys.
That's
I thought
nice.
that was
Okay.
really cool. It
Okay.
was with Chingoon and Nathan. And Nathan, he was the one that played a fabulous Ariana Grande, which I bow down to him. He was amazing playing Ariana Grande. If you haven't seen him on the
Okay.
AllThat reboot, playing Ariana
Mhm.
Grande, Nathan, shout out to him. But yeah, it was just a really special moment. Her and I, it was like we never skipped a beat. We didn't mess up on one line. It was just like
Wow.
bam, bam, and it was like, yeah, we still got it. And it felt really good. It felt really good, and all the same writers, and you know, the creator Brian Robbins, who's now the president of Paramount. You know,
Okay.
it's like
Wow.
really, really special to see the crew that I was a part with, the tribe, just thriving, still doing it. And even though all that's not on right now,
Mhm.
um, the new kids were just amazing, and I stay in touch with a lot of them to this day. And I just saw one of them recently at a gifting suite, and it's just great to see that that frequency got brought back, just like the Proud Family, and that
Mhm.
fans
Yes.
really, really resonated with it. You know what I mean? I think what was unfortunate with the AllThat reboot is a lot of it aired during COVID and
Right.
the pandemic, you know, and who knows, it still could come back, but all the kids are still working, doing their thing and pursuing their career. And it's been a great platform for me, and now it's a great platform for them. And hopefully, you know, whether that show returns or not, I think it's going to leave an imprint always on everyone's heart, because that is part of the 90's for sure.
It will
Absolutely.
always have a
Absolutely.
legacy, yes. And
Yeah.
it's it's so incredible for you. You have been a part of two legacy shows now. So you are just doing it.
uh
I love it.
so
It's
should we all
beautiful.
be like in what's it called, the what's it called when you're I'm going really blank, I'm having a blank moment, like the not the Guinness Book of Records, the Hall of Fame. We should, the
Yeah,
Proud Family and all that
Yes.
should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes,
absolutely. I
absolutely.
Wouldn't
agree.
that be
I
cool?
agree. Yes.
How do we do that? We got to look into that.
Yeah,
I
and
got
you
to
guys
talk to
need
my
to do like
publicist.
pop-ups. Like, for example, 90's Con, we talk about this almost every episode, but 90's Con, they need to have all of you guys there.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes,
like some
yes. You know
skits.
what happened this last past 90's Con? I had my baby. So I wasn't really traveling and doing too much. And I know that there's going to be 90 cons every year, and I'm sure that I will float by one of those eventually. I finally, you know, I finally was talking to my booking agent and my team saying, okay, I'll come out and do some convention stuff. Because when you have a baby during a
Yes.
pandemic, and then once the baby's born during the pandemic, everything is just like different. And then on top of it, everything's been done remotely. You know, I'm just now finally like coming out of my cocoon, if that makes any sense. You
Mhm.
know, so, you know,
Yes.
I'm back, I'm here, I'm back on camera. I wrapped a film, you know, this past year called Sisters, that'll be out this year. It's a crime thriller. And
Oh.
that's on camera. I have a really cool, edgy role. And I've just been busy with Disney. And there's another doc that I'm in called Butterfly in the Sky. It's based off the Reading Rainbow documentary with LeVar Burton. And
Oh,
I was
Okay.
on that show when I was a little girl. So I was asked to get interviewed on it.
Oh,
And it was just
wow.
done
how was
so
that?
beautifully. It was dope. It was done. It was premiered at Tribeca Film Festival last year. And then Proud Family, thanks be to Jesus, we won a Children's Emmy for outstanding cast and casting. So
As you should.
Oh, thank you. So while I was there, it was really serendipitous. They gave LeVar Burton a Lifetime Achievement Award, and they were, showing the documentary that I was in. So I was just like, this is really like tripping me out. Everything's very like alignment and serendipitous. And I just feel like I've been doing this a long time. The time is now. So I feel like whatever God wants, it's in his hands. We just got to keep manifesting. And all we can do is keep putting love into ourselves, because once you love yourself, then that gives off that frequency to Gaia in the world, right?
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, for me, I've just been in this game a long time, and I've just been really trying to keep it real and grounded. And I think the more authentic one can stay and organic one can stay, the longevitous more that one's life will be.
We received that, because that's why we're here with you right now. So thank you so much for that
Snap
word.
it up.
Naps.
Now I'm getting deep today.
Yes.
Yes. So one last thing though, I do have to ask.
Okay.
So going back to
Okay.
the Proud family,
Okay.
I noticed that the friends of Penny Proud, they are a little messy, and they have violated a couple girl codes. Have you ever violated a girl code?
Not that I know of. I'm sure that if someone violated me girl code wise, I will definitely let them know that. No, listen, I'm an only child raised by a single parent, right? And she definitely implemented to me that friends come and go, but to have really good friends come a dime a dozen. And that's what I love about Zoe, Penny, Dejanay, and LaCienega, and now Michael and Maya. I feel like we always learn our lesson on the show, like the moral, the principle, and it kind of comes a little bit faster now. I mean, I feel like LaCienega is definitely trying to grow and progress. I mean, she's still sassy, but also lovable, but she's still going to be her. I think it's important to show that you have your bite, your bark, right? I'm teaching that to my daughter. You got to have your voice, but it's about how you eloquently say it and get it done, if that makes any sense, right? So, segueing to what you were asking me, which I went now, that happens to me now as a new mom. I get like mommy blank moments.
baby brain.
No, you were saying about me and the lessons with the friends, right? That's what we were talking about.
Code. Like
the girl code.
For example, Dejanay, she likes to text and stuff and put your business out on social media. I feel like
I have a weird situation happen once, and this was like forever ago. Like there was like a newer girlfriend that I had, and I wasn't even that close with her. But this is what makes me laugh. When you're not really close with someone, well, you're not in their head, so you don't know who they know, what's going on. So we were at like a club or something, and I guess like she went home and I went to like an after party or something, and she got mad because her ex-boyfriend was at the after party. And because he was there, I shouldn't have been there. I go, well, I didn't know he was your ex-boyfriend. So like things like that. And then like she legit didn't want to talk to me ever again. And I didn't even know what I did. So I feel like I get kind of caught in weird scenarios sometimes where I didn't know what I did. Because people don't communicate.
Yes.
And people aren't honest, and people think that you're psychic. I am empathic, but sometimes I'm not psychic all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm pretty quick-witted, but I mean, I'm not in your head. So stupid things like that. But I think I've learned from seeing everybody else's crazy debacles what to do and what not to do. And I'm definitely going to implement that in my daughter. Like, you gotta have a little bubble around you and have a little respect. You respect others, they respect you. It's like that golden rule. You treat others as you wish to be treated.
Very true. Very true. Boundaries.
That's been my new word. Boundaries. And I have no problem saying no. Like, I have no problem saying yes, but I think no is very empowering.
Yes.
You don't have to say yes to everything. It's okay.
And no is a complete sentence. No.
Right, because you want quality over quantity in life.
Very true. Very true. Well, Kevie, do you have any last questions?
You know, I just want to say to you, Alisa, I just want to say rest in peace to your mother. You shared that. You know, I can say through connecting with you now that she instilled a lot of light into you, and we're blessed to be here with you and to connect with you, and we see why you have had 30 years in the game, and we are here to support you and to root for you, and we are just so grateful for your time.
Yeah.
Well, I am so happy that I met you both. I hope that we stay connected and friends. Out of curiosity, where are you guys located?
Ohio.
Okay, both of you are in Ohio.
Yes.
Okay, well, if you ever come to Cali, we'll have to have lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, listen,
If
say
I'm
less.
in Ohio, I mean, my husband's from the Midwest, so if I'm ever,
Okay.
you know, in my husband's South Dakota area, I'll let you know. Definitely not when it's winter, though. It's too cold.
I was gonna
Right.
say, listen,
Yeah.
well, that could be a summer trip.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but no,
Come
I'm
see
really
us
glad
this
that we
summer.
met. Your words mean a lot. That really touched me. And you know, you guys have a really beautiful energy. I know that we never met, but I feel like everything happens for a reason. So I feel like we're now in each other's lives, right? So
Yes.
I'm gonna promote and cross promote and give you guys love and light and stay in touch and
Same
let's
here.
just keep that going with each other. I love you
Yes.
guys. Thank
Yes.
you so
Yes,
much.
we love
We
you
love
too.
you.
Okay. When I say you were the
Oh,
girl crush of the 90s, you were it.
oh, okay. Oh, that means a
So
lot
no,
Yes.
to
whatever we
me.
can do to help promote, support you in whatever type of way, just send it to me or Kevie, and we would do that on
Okay.
all of our pages, and we would
Yes,
definitely help
ma'am.
in any type of way.
That would be awesome. Yeah, and if you want to create like a
Yes.
little flyer for this, I'll definitely make a reel and
Yeah.
I'll promote some stuff. And then maybe later this year we can recap. I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a bunch more other things to touch base on, and then maybe we could do another episode if you want.
We would love that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Absolutely.
this is
Okay.
what it's all
Okay.
about, guys. So as you
Uh,
hear, stay tuned. We got a lot more coming. We are the official 90s Babies podcast on 80s, 90s, and 2000s vibes. So go check us out. I am Quay Morgan Hill, and this is Kevie the Dreamer. And we will see you guys all next time. Love you. Mwah.
Love and light.